You've repeated the affirmation for months, and your body still flinches when you say it out loud. You speak abundance, and your shoulders climb toward your ears. You declare you are worthy, and your stomach tightens like a fist. The words are right. Something underneath them keeps voting no. And that something isn't your mind at all. It's the tension you've carried so long you stopped feeling it. Here's what almost no one tells you about manifestation. Your assumption doesn't live only in your thoughts. It lives in your tissue. Every fear you never finished feeling left a residue, and that residue settled into your jaw, your hips, the small of your back, the shallow breath you take without noticing. You think you're holding a belief. You're holding a posture. And that posture is broadcasting an old story far louder than any sentence you repeat in the mirror. Think about the last time someone startled you. Your body knew before your thoughts did. It clenched, braced, prepared to run or fight, all in a fraction of a second. That clench is intelligent. It saved your ancestors. The trouble begins when the threat passes and the clench doesn't. The danger ends, the bracing stays, and it keeps staying, day after day, until that frozen readiness becomes the shape you call yourself. So what happens to an emotion you never let move through you? It doesn't vanish. Energy in motion has to go somewhere, and when you slam the door on grief or rage or terror, because the moment wasn't safe, that motion gets trapped mid-stride. Your body does the merciful thing. It holds the unfinished feeling for you, locks it into a muscle, and lets you keep functioning. A child learns to swallow tears and the throat tightens. A person learns that wanting leads to disappointment, and the chest armors over the heart. You survive by storing it. Now you're trying to manifest from a body that's still mid-survival. This is why affirmations alone often bounce off like rain on stone. An affirmation is a thought offered to a body that's living a different truth. You say, "I am safe to receive." Your held tissue answers, "Last time we opened, we got hurt." Guess which one the universe feels? Assumption isn't a sentence you recite, it's a state you embody, a felt certainty radiating from every cell. When your spoken word and your physical state disagree, the body wins. It always wins. It's been rehearsing its position for 20 years. Consider how strange this actually is. You can sit perfectly still in a quiet room, completely safe, no threat anywhere near you, and your body behaves as if a lion just walked in. The deadline passed weeks ago, and your jaw is still set against it. The argument ended years ago, and your shoulders are still defending the point. Time moved on. Your tissue didn't. It's keeping the calendar all its own, marking every old wound as if it happened this morning. And the life you keep trying to call in has to walk past all of that to reach you. A part of you genuinely wants the love, the money, the open door. Another part, the one wound into your muscle, learned long ago that getting what you want is precisely when the floor falls away. So you self-sabotage and call it bad luck. You shrink at the threshold and call it timing. You push away the very thing you prayed for, and you have no idea your body is doing it, because the decision was made years before you could put it into words. The block was never in your vision board. It was in the way you hold your breath when good things get close. Stay with me, because this is where the doorway opens. That stored tension is a loyal guard who never got the message that the war ended. For years you've tried to think your way past it, arguing with the guard, reciting affirmations at the locked gate. The guard speaks in sensation, in pressure, in the held breath. So you have to meet it where it actually lives, in the body, in the quiet. Try this tonight. Lie down and do nothing but breathe into the places that feel tight, not to fix them, to feel them. Put your attention on the clenched jaw, the braced belly, the shoulders that won't drop, and let your awareness rest there like warmth on cold metal. You're offering safety, and the body, sensing it's finally allowed, begins to do what it's wanted to do for years. It starts to thaw. You might feel a tremble move through your legs, a wave of heat, a sudden, surprising urge to cry over nothing in particular. This is the unfinished emotion, completing its journey at last. Decades late, but completing it. The motion that got stuck mid-stride finally takes its last step. Let it. Don't narrate it, don't analyze where it came from, don't turn it into a story. The body needs permission to finish the sentence it started long ago. And as it finishes, something shifts that no affirmation ever reached. The state you've been trying to affirm becomes available because the body that contradicted it has stood down. Suddenly the words land. You say you are worthy and your chest stays open instead of bracing. You imagine the thing you want, and there's no undertow of dread pulling against it. The assumption can finally take root because the soil was just cleared of the stone that blocked it. This is the inner work the spiritual world rarely names. Manifestation is also about releasing the old belief you've been physically clenching. Now, a warning, because this part matters, the release is a single dramatic afternoon for no one. Anyone promising that is selling you something. This is a practice slow and unglamorous, returning night after night to the same tight places, with the same patient attention. Some layers lift easily. Others are wrapped around memories you've spent a lifetime avoiding, and they'll only loosen when you've proven, through repetition, that you can be trusted with them. The body unwinds at the speed of safety. You cannot rush a frightened thing into trust. You can only keep showing up until it believes you. There's a woman I think of often, though you'll recognize her better than I do. She did the visualizations for 2 years and watched nothing move, until one night, breathing into a knot in her chest, she sobbed for an hour over a door her father slammed when she was 9. The next month, the thing she'd wanted arrived almost carelessly. The work was never the wanting. The work was the door she'd been holding shut in her ribs. You have a door like that too. You can feel where it is right now. That patience is itself the discipline of the mental diet, lived in the flesh. Because here's what you'll discover as the armor melts. Your thoughts change on their own. You'll catch yourself no longer rehearsing the worst outcome because the tension that generated the fear has dissolved. The clenched body was manufacturing the anxious mind the whole time. Calm the wiring beneath the skin, and the catastrophic thinking loses its fuel. You spent years trying to win the argument upstairs while the fire was burning in the basement. There's a reason this gets easier the longer you stay with it. Each time you breathe into a tight place and it softens, your body collects evidence. Evidence that opening doesn't end in pain anymore. Evidence that you'll stay present even when the old feeling surges. Trust is built from that evidence, one small release at a time, until the guard at the gate finally sets down its weapon and walks home. You become a place where good things can land without setting off the alarm. And that changes what you're able to imagine. Try to picture your desire from a clenched body, and the image comes out thin, anxious, threaded with the fear of losing it. Picture the same desire from a body that has finally exhaled, and the scene arrives whole, warm, already yours. The quality of your imagination depends on the state of your tissue. This is why 2 people can run the identical visualization and only one of them feels it land. One is dreaming from safety, the other is dreaming through a clenched fist, and the fist distorts everything it touches. So picture who you become when the fire goes out. You walk into the room you used to dread, and your breath stays deep. You ask for what you want, and your voice holds steady. You receive a compliment, money, love, and your body lets it in instead of deflecting it at the door. People will say you've changed your energy, and they'll be right, though they won't know it's because you finally let an ancient grief leave the building. The world begins to mirror back this looser, more open you, because the world has always mirrored your state, and your state lives in your tissue. This is the secret hidden inside every teaching about living in the end. To live in the end, you must become the person who already has it, and that person moves through the world unclenched. The future self you're reaching for breathes freely and holds nothing against the past. You release your way into that body. Every layer of old fear you let move through and out brings you one breath closer to the frequency of the life you say you want. Your hands have been gripping the wheel so long you forgot they could open. So tonight, before you reach for the affirmation, reach for the tension first. Find the oldest knot in your shoulders, the one that's been there since you were small. Breathe into it. Tell it, through your attention alone, that the danger has passed and it's allowed to rest now. Watch what happens to your manifesting when the body finally agrees with the words. You've been trying to plant a garden in clenched fists. Open your hands. The seeds were ready all along. And so, at last are you.